Welcome to Chicago Cubs baseball on CSN. It's presented to you by State Farm. Cold and blustery, wind blowing in tonight here at the corner of Clark and Addison. It's game 2 of a 3-game set between the Cincinnati Reds and Chicago Cubs. Great to have you with us for Cubs baseball. Jim DeShays and Len Casper. Off day yesterday. I think we needed an off day. So much excitement Monday night.
That was fun, wasn't it? Brandon Finnegan, the young left-hander for the Reds, flirted with a no-hitter. David Ross was able to break that up. But the big blow, Jumbo Diaz came out of the bullpen, tried to sneak a fastball by Addison Russell. He deposited into the seats for a 3-run and what proved to be game-winning home run. What a moment for young Addison Russell. One of the best young shortstops in all of baseball. And you look at the numbers after he moved to the shortstop position last year. The Cubs went 44-18, average better than 5 runs per game.
So he hopefully can maybe hit 15 to 20 homers this year. Led the team in spring training. Let's get into the starting pitchers tonight. Couple of veterans. Alfredo Simon for the Reds. John Lackey will make his home debut as a Cub.
Yeah, Lackey struggled early in his outing last time out. Was able to bounce back and pitch 3 scoreless innings to finish that outing. Picked up a win. The Cubs scored 14 runs for him. Alfredo Simon, the veteran right-hander, 2 years ago was an all-star for the Reds. Boy, and he's been really good against the Cubs in his career. In 3 starts in this ballpark, he has an .045 earned run average.
So the Cubs off to a great start, 6-1, including a big win in the home opener Monday night. They'll try to clinch this series against one of their division rivals next.
CIN Chicago is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. Ford, inviting you to check out their fuel-efficient lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Transparency. Low fares. Nothing to hide.
Well, this is the kind of night you might want to throw on 2, 3, 4 layers, depending on where you're sitting in the ballpark. But it's dry. Waiting for the Cubs to take the field behind John Lackey. Let's set the umpires for tonight. As the crew chief will work home plate. Jeff Kellogg, that's Chicago native John Tumpane, working third. Brian O'Nora at first. Alan Porter is at second. Cubs looking for their first 7-1 start since 1985. Let's see how the Reds line up. Brought to you by Southwest. Reds come in at 5-2. The game behind the Cubs. Hamilton will lead off tonight. Suarez, Votto, Phillips. A couple of day-to-day quad injuries. Zach Cozart and Devin Mesoraco. Bruce Shepler, Ivan DeJesus Jr. Tucker Barnhart gets the start back to the plate. And the pitcher Simon bats ninth.
Cubs defensively have been outstanding so far this year. They've committed just 2 errors. You see the outfield. It's the front court. Soler, Fowler, and Hayward. Left, center, right infield, third to first. Bryant, Russell, Zobrist, Rizzo. Miguel Montero behind the plate tonight, and Alexis pursuing perfection starting pitcher. The veteran, John Lackey. So on Thursday, as we mentioned, he struggled early. As a matter of fact, Gene Segura hit a leadoff home run off him to start the ball game in the bottom half of the first in Arizona. So 6 innings, 8 hits, 6 runs. He walked 1, struck out 4. 13-10 last year with a 2.77 ERA. He allowed 3 runs or fewer in 29 of his 33 starts last season.
So Hamilton, who batted 9th Monday night, will be in that leadoff spot. We talked a lot about the cold weather and its effect on the games and the players. Sometimes you hear about cold weather teams. Well, I'm here to tell you, no baseball player really likes to play in the cold weather, and it already has had an impact on this game. As I mentioned, you've got the quad issues, some tightness for Mesoraco and Cozart, and JD managers with muscle tightness. They're usually very, very cautious on nights like this.
Yeah, and obviously you worry about guys blowing out a hammy or something like that. So it's incumbent on the players to warm up properly, stay loose, stay stretched. You see Rondon down there doing a little running. He's not really trying to stay loose because he won't have to work for 2.5 hours probably at the earliest. He's just going inside to get a cup of coffee. Gather around by the heaters, boys. And Lester Strode will tell you some tales. I'll watch the big Texan go to work here.
6'6", 235. And the first pitch is hit on the ground, fair past Rizzo. That'll be at least 2. And Hamilton will stop there. Nice job by Hayward to get to that ball quickly. Any bobble, any issue there, and Hamilton standing on third.
Last year, John Lackey threw strike 1 71% of the time. Only Max Scherzer in all of Major League Baseball threw strike 1 more often. So hitters are up there looking for a pitch in the zone to take a whack at. We saw with Segura hitting the home run off of John in his last start. In that case, it was a high fastball. This one's down on the plate. Hamilton just able to squirt it by Rizzo down the first baseline.
Eugenio Suarez. 43 degrees as we get started. Reds got a run in the first on Monday night off John Lester.
Pretty good run on that 2-seam fastball, and it looked like it was on the plate.
Swing and a miss.
Oh, he's got good movement. Lackey in his last start topped out at 95. The fastball will average right around 92 miles an hour. Cutter, changeup, and a curveball. That's good action there, boy. If he's able to stay down there with that movement, he should get some easy outs on the ground.
Base hit right field. Hamilton hesitated to make sure it got down. So he'll advance to third. They're at the corners with nobody out.
And John started against the Diamondbacks. They put 3 on the board in the first inning. They had 6 runs on 6 hits through 3. And then the final 3 innings, they didn't score any runs on just a couple of hits.
Votto fouls on a play. 2 hits on Monday for Votto. So he's 6 out of 27 to start the year without an extra base hit. Which will play at double play depth in the middle of their infield, trying to avoid a big inning here, and a big cut by Votto. I think it's telling that he has swung at the first 2 pitches. That tells you everything you need to know about John Lackey in terms of attacking the strike zone.
Yeah, and even when he gives up damage, it doesn't scare him out of the zone. You know, it's a percentage play. He just thinks, I'm going to keep throwing quality pitches in the strike zone. odds are in my favor. If I'm making good pitches down, I'm going to get plenty of outs down there, and I'm going to be efficient, and I'll be able to pitch deep into games. That was his MO last year. 218 innings pitched for Lackey last season.
It's a sign from Montero, and here he comes, and it's outside. And it's 1-2. Now this is that spot you talk about a lot. Guys like Votto and Rizzo and Goldschmidt. You can nibble, but if you do that, you're probably going to end up 3-2.
Yeah, you might be better off just pressing your advantage early. And see Votto choke way up on that bat.
Runner goes from first, and Montero will not make a throw, so Suarez is safe. You know, if you throw it, Hamilton's going to score no matter what with his speed. That's almost a gimme in that regard.
Yeah, it becomes a high-risk play throwing through there for sure.
Meanwhile, 2-2 on Votto with Brandon Phillips on deck. You aren't kidding. You will not see a batter choke up that far in the big leagues. 3-2.
Yeah, now the downside with that stolen base from the Reds' point of view is, Lackey may be less aggressive with Votto than he otherwise would have been. He may be willing to put him on here.
Pause in the set, and the 3-2, and he does walk him, and they are loaded. We'd like to welcome all our viewers watching on RCN tonight. So double, single, stolen base, and a walk. And here is Phillips. 1 for 4 on Monday with an RBI, a stolen base, and a run.
So now
very
Phillips,
good start.
And there doesn't need to be a strike thrower on the mound for Phillips to be aggressive. He goes up there hacking. So we'll see if Lackey tries to be a little more particular here with this first pitch. Drop down. He works every now and then. He'll kind of go to the lower 3/4 just to give the hitter a different look. Create some movement. Phillips, 5 out of 27 in his career against Lackey. You see he's been awfully good with the bases loaded in his career.
That is a foul ball. Phillips off to that really good start. It's early. Reds would like to see the slugging percentage go up this year. He's been under 400 in that department each of the last 3 years. Over 500 here in the first week plus. Foul back. I mean, I guess I look at it this way, JD. If a lot of these guys have close to what their career year might be, guys with track records, this offense will score runs.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's hard to know as players. What's Phillips? 33, 34. Yeah, players. Usually, oftentimes are in decline at that stage of their career, and it's just hard to count on them from one year to the next. A nice year last year. Big jump from the year before in terms of his batting average. There was one stretch there, it was like 4 or 5 years in a row. He hit exactly 18 home runs.
Lackey really grinding here early. The 1-2 swing and a miss. That's a big one. Now you're a ground ball away from getting out of it.
sometimes on a cold night, a pitcher doesn't have the feel for the breaking pitch, especially early, but he trusted it there and he snapped off a real good one.
Jay Bruce takes a pitch off the plate inside. He already has 9 RBIs.
Well, Bruce, a strikeout candidate. Dangerous, but he swings and misses a lot.
1-0. Hit in the air pretty well. Wind's going to help the Cubs here as Fowler gets behind it. Hamilton will score. Suarez advances to third. It's 1-0 on the sac fly from Jay Bruce.
I really feel like Hamilton should have run backwards on that.
He probably could
just to challenge himself. Yeah. So a lazy fly ball by Bruce gets one home. That would be that, you know, bases loaded, nobody out. If you had offered Lackey one, he probably said, "Okay, I'll take one, an inning over."
Scott Schebler turns on one and lines out of play. Cedar Rapids, Iowa native. Came over from the Dodgers, 3-team trade that included Todd Frazier going to the White Sox. He's making his 4th start of the season. Oh, 2. Northeast, or rather an east wind at 8. So coming straight off the lake. Definitely feels colder than the other night. Ground ball, diving stop, Zobrist, Rizzo to the bag, and that's the inning. So Zobrist saves a run. Reds get 1. Cubs are coming up. Cubs leadoff man gets a hit. Vinny's Beverage Depot will donate $100 to the Greater Chicago Food Depository. Now the 6-1 Cubs, 1-9 offensively, brought to you by Southwest. Fowler, Hayward, and Zobrist 1-3. The middle occupied by Rizzo, Bryant, and Montero. Soler, Russell, who had the big home run Monday, and the pitcher Lackey.
Let's check in with the Reds defensively. Schebler, Hamilton, Bruce left, center, right. Suarez is the third baseman. He's made 3 errors already. DeJesus spells Cozart at short. Phillips and Votto, they've been there forever on the right side. Tucker Barnhart is the catcher, and Alexis, starting pitcher for the Reds. They call him Big Pasta. because his name is Alfredo, and big because he's 6'6", 265. No decision, but good work in his first start on Friday against the Pirates.
Second tour of duty with the Reds. They signed him in mid-March. So it's an interesting matchup with Fowler, right? He signed in late February, so a couple of guys who basically sat out the entire winter free agency period. It ended up working out for both. 2-1 the count.
Simon last year with the Tigers was 13-12, but he had an ERA of 5.05. Well below league average strikeout rate.
3-1. Cubs have already taken a major league leading 38 walks. They've got a 5-game hit batter streak. And they won the game Monday on just 3 hits. Scored 5 times. Line shot deep to right. Bruce is back. And he can't make the play. Fowler on his way to second. And he will stand with a double. Looked like Bruce got a little out of sorts where the wall was. He took a look back. He got near the ball, but he didn't haul it in.
That ball probably should have been caught. Really well hit by Fowler. Wind might have knocked it down a little bit, but it was more of a line shot than a towering drive. And you see Bruce feeling for the wall. He's kind of like when you reach for that bottom stair and it's not there. That's kind of the sense you have with Bruce. He thought he was closer to the wall than he really was. So Fowler answers Hamilton's leadoff double with one of his own.
His 586 on base average will go up. Here's Jason Hayward. Big 2-run single. And the 7th off a left-hander to get the Cubs back in the game in the opener. Looking for his first home run. And a called strike. Dexter has an on-base percentage now of exactly .600 after that double. Looking for power too. Foul back our way.
Simon 45-40 in his big league career with a 4.15 ERA. 15-game winner for the Reds in 2014. He was an all-star that year. Likes to go to the split finger pitch against the lefties when they head in the count. He floated that one up there. Top out mid-90s, sit around 93. He likes to throw a cutter. Leans heavily on that splitter, and he flip a curveball up there as well.
Healthy cut that time. It was not a typical 2-strike swing.
He was long and strong, and he starts with his hands kind of held in close to his body, so there's a little bit of a timing issue there where he's got to make sure he gets them pushed out into launch mode.
On the hands, and he cracked his bat that time.
Battle down a couple of strikes, hoping for something positive to come out of this plate appearance. At the end of the day, Fowler standing on third base, and Hayward has done his job. I like to see the breath. It's like it's football weather.
Yeah, it's definitely a station-to-station type night. Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Elevated cutter. Now he needs to pick me up from his teammate. Zobrist picked everybody up by making a sparkling defensive play to end the top half of the inning. Costa with a little extra turn that time. Top of his delivery.
And Zobrist, an 8th inning walk, 2 batters ahead of Russell, game-winning homer on Monday. Six righty deals and just misses the outside corner. Simon's been doing this a long time. Signed with the Phillies back in 1999. At that time, he was known as Carlos Cabrera. Real identity was disclosed a few years after that. Also revealed that he was almost 2 years older than previously believed. He's from Santiago in the Dominican Republic. Time called before a 1-2. Here's a pitch. Inside, almost hit him. Keep an eye on the Brewers and Cardinals tonight. Brewers with a 1st inning run in St. Louis. Pirates are home against Detroit, leading 2-1 in the 5th. Three and two.
Kind of been hit or miss with that split finger pitch. The previous one was really good. When he leaves it on the plate and has it dive down below the knees, it's a swing and miss pitch. The one that floats up and away is pretty easy for the left-handed hitters to recognize and disregard. That's the good one, but Zobrist didn't bite because he's Zobrist.
So first walk issued by Simon. I tweeted out a link to a Fangraphs piece earlier today about this Cubs offense. They have a chance to be the, quote, most disciplined lineup in the expansion era.
Saw that story. I know.
Anthony Rizzo. Already 10 knocked in. 3 of those RBIs game winners. And a called strike.
Anthony 5 out of 15 against Simon with a couple of home runs.
I mentioned it off the top. Simon has had good success against the Cubs. Three career starts here with an ERA of basically 1 at Wrigley Field.
Yeah, kind of a late bloomer. Bounced around a couple different organizations and then worked out of the bullpen with the Reds in 2012 and 13. He had made a few starts with the Orioles the year before, 16 starts actually. But then back-to-back years, 30-plus starts with the Reds. They checked that Reds and Tigers. Just that 1 year in the Reds rotation. And man, if he returns close to that form, it's going to be a pretty good deal for Cincinnati. I believe they're paying him $2 million. Don't know ultimately what his role will be, if he'll stay in the rotation or if he becomes more of a swing man once they get some of the younger arms healthy.
And they've got several starting candidates on the disabled list. So 2-2 on Rizzo. Out back.
You know, I went to the grocery store yesterday to try to buy a box of Rizzos. There were none there. And I asked him about it today. He said they sold out.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Wait for the next shipment to come in.
Yeah. We compared Rizzo and Goldschmidt the other day for obvious reasons, two of the elite first basemen in the league. But I think the better comp for Anthony is Joey Votto, left-handed hitter. We saw Votto choke up with 2 strikes. Rizzo does that too.
There's a bunch of good ones in there in this league. Freddie Freeman down in Atlanta, Brandon Belt really emerging out in San Francisco.
Ryan Price has to be very happy with his team's start, not so much with the way the game ended Monday night. He had a 3-0 lead into the late innings. 2-2 popped up. The wind may push this one out of play, and it does.
Barnhart, I don't think he ever saw that ball. It looked like he was positioning himself to settle under it, but it was well out of play. He might be running out of timeouts. Barnhart really working hard trying to coax his pitcher through this inning. Yeah, he lost sight of it. I know it's up there somewhere.
Another 2-2 on its way, and this one will find the upper deck. Actually on the roof and back.
And a flag up there.
Wow. One thing with the wind blowing in, a lot of hitters don't like it because it'll keep the ball in the yard, but some foul balls that normally would be caught end up in the seats. Runners go, and the pitch is low and dropped by Barnhart. The second and third with only 1 out, and 3-2 on Rizzo.
Now the Reds faced with a similar situation with Rizzo now with the base open, and Joe Madden sniffed that one out. I'm guessing splitter, and the splitter in the dirt, no chance for Barnhart to make a play. Again, this lineup continues to just wear down opposing pitchers.
He's had some pitches to hit, as you see. Simon's been right around the plate during this sequence. Bryant on deck. Cubs trail 1-0 here in the first. And the pitch. Fouled off. We'll try it one more time. As Gary Pressey plays Staying Alive.
Choke and poke. A little line drive right into left center. It's a fairly typical result in a bat like this for Rizzo.
Here it comes. He walked him and they're loaded.
You see a lot of that too.
Both starters in some trouble. Lackey in the top of this first inning, and now Simon in the bottom. He made 20 pitches to get through his inning. Simon well above that already. 27 and counting.
And Barnhart's been out there a bunch. Now it's Mark Riggins, the pitching coach, out to pay a visit to the big righty. He's probably saying, look, if you're waiting around for somebody easy to pitch to, it's not likely to happen. So just go do what you do best. Try to find the bottom of that strike zone and go to work. Although Chris Bryant likes the ball down.
Double strikeout, 2 walks. And a double steal here in this first inning.
Well, you want to be selective here, but not passive. Get the bases loaded. Pitcher on the ropes here early.
By the way, there was a pregame technical issue with the replay system, so each manager will get his normal challenge. And then we'll have unlimited crew chief reviews for the remainder of the game. Two 2-0 on Bryant.
Yeah, let's see how bold Big Pasta wants to be here with the bases loaded at 2-0. It's bases loaded, 2-0 with a slugger in the batter's box here. No hurry to make a pitch.
Bryant's next home run this month will be his first in April as a big leaguer. Three and oh. His first home run last year on May 9th in Milwaukee. Big crowd tonight. Cole did not keep them away, and they're on their feet in the first inning. Three and one.
My guess is Chris had the green light. Some guys just don't like hitting 3-0. There's another shot at that one.
Up to 93 miles an hour, and it's full 3-2. And we're tied. That's the third consecutive walk issued by Simon. So a bases loaded walk. Bryant will get his third RBI of the season. Bases still loaded with one out for Miguel Montero.
Red position players behind Simon not having a lot of fun standing around watching this on this cold night. Talked earlier about trying to stay loose.
Simon currently is on a pace to throw 99 pitches this inning. He's made 33 to get one out. I'm guessing he won't throw that many.
Maybe a couple of pitches away from somebody getting up in that bullpen. Didn't have to be.
No strike on Montero.
Yeah.
Well, Cubs scored 14 the last time Lackey started in Arizona. Foul pop, and that will just get past the Cubs dugout.
Montero's thinking big part of the yard. Won't roll over. Doesn't want to hit a ground ball to the right side.
Close, but inside, and 1-2. Montero with his first home start. Homer and 5 knocked in, and 4 games on the first trip. A 1-2. Tapper foul.
In the split finger pitch that was elevated, he got away with it because Mickey was out in front, pulled off of it a little bit. Outfield arms really strong in center and right with Hamilton and Bruce. Not sure about Schebler out there in the left.
Base hit. Here comes Zobrist. Rizzo will be held at third. Cubs lead 2-1. And there is action in the Reds bullpen.
A great 2-strike hitting by Montero again. You know, he pulled off that previous split finger pitch, fouled it off. This time he stays right on the ball. It's drifting out away from him and up. It plays right into his hands. That middle other way approach when you're trying to keep the ball airborne. It's really worked in his favor.
Instead of the helmet rub, the pointing down, it seems to be the new thing.
Yeah.
There's former Cub Dan Straley. And it's Jorge Soler. Still only 1 out. Bases still full. Low and away. You laughed at my projected pitches for Simon to get out of the inning, but it's going up, not down.
Yeah, he's kind of on an island out there right now. Doesn't know what to do. He's been release points, not consistent. Doesn't trust the stuff, that's for sure. He's been nibbling the whole inning.
Here's his 2-0. Soler. Fly ball to left. This should get Rizzo in. And it's Schebler to make the catch. Other runners will hold. Rizzo to the plate. 3-1. Well, that'll play on a night like this.
Well, that's the thing, right? That's the big mistake by Simon here. All the walks in the inning on a night where the ballpark, the conditions are in your favor as a pitcher, where it pays off to challenge guys. The wind's going to knock a lot of stuff down. Hitters don't like hitting in the cold for the most part. The walk's really opening the door.
The 8th batter of the inning, Addison Russell, takes high. See a ton of emotion out of Russell, but he knew he had gotten it when the ball left his bat Monday night. Talking to some guys who were in the dugout, they weren't quite sure because it was a high fly on a cold night. Those are the kind that tend to get held up by the April wind. 2-0.
Well, you know, there's a smoothness, a coolness to his game that's fun to watch. You're right, doesn't usually show much emotion, and wasn't exactly doing cartwheels there, but he was clearly fired up.
Right center, coming in is Bruce, will play it on a bounce. Bryant will score. 4-1. Keep the line moving. 3 hits and 3 walks here in the first.
Yep, last 4 hitters have driven in runs. RBI walk, RBI single, sac fly, RBI single by Addison Russell. John Lackey's the magic man. They got 14 runs for him in his last start. 4 spot on the board already here tonight.
Next pitch will be number 45 of the inning. And appropriately enough, it misses. Ball 1. A career 106 hitter, 0 for 3 in his first start of the year. One and 2. Gum's getting a good workout here in the first. 2 and 2. I'm going to go ahead and guess that you never threw 50 pitches in the first inning of a game.
No,
you probably wouldn't have been allowed to.
Yeah, if I was trending that way, they would have gotten me out of there. I'm thinking.
Base hit right field. Montero will be sent by Gary Jones. Here comes the throw. He's in. John Lackey with his 6th career RBI. 5-1. That's it for Simon. He will not be allowed to throw his 50th pitch.
Yep, there's the blow that sends him to the shower. A chop on that fastball the other way by John Lackey to score Montero. Wow.
Pitching change in the first. Cubs lead by 4.
to extend its unbeaten streak to 4 games as they defend Toyota Park against the first place Montreal Impact. Coverage starts at 3:30 on CSN Plus. Les Impact de Montréal.
Here's ex-Cub Dan Straley, came over from Oakland, along with Billy McKinney and Addison Russell. Jeff Samardzija, Jason Hamill back in July of 2014. Ball one on Fowler.
Raise your hand if you have a Steely Dan song playing in your head right now.
Yeah, Straley Dan was your nickname for him. 7 appearances, 1 start as a Cub. He's been an Athletic, a Cub, an Astro, and now a Red. And if he's effective and efficient, you're going to see a lot of innings out of him tonight. In his Reds debut, he went 3 on Sunday.
4-pitch mix, fastball, slider, curve, and change. Whoop, I got him. Streak's alive.
Yes, it is. Cubs have a 6-game hit batter streak now.
Base percentage continues to climb for Fowler. Trying to throw a 2-seam fastball, one of those come on backs that start inside and run back to the plate. Overcooked it a little bit.
Bases loaded again, and now the 11th batter of the inning.
So it's a little redemption for Hayward. He's the only guy who hasn't had a positive outcome tonight in their plate appearance. He struck out. The other out was a sac fly. Duck!
Right. 1-1.
Warming up in the Reds bullpen, Brandon Duckworth.
The pitch.
Just a little tardy.
The 1-2. Hayward in the air, and the wind pushing that one foul. Boy, it's going to be so hard to hit a ball out of here and right. You have to hit it pretty low.
During batting practice, Anthony Rizzo turned around and he said, I have 0% chance of hitting a ball out of here tonight.
And he went, and that will end the inning. Cubs get 5. Cubs baseball on CSN is presented to you by State Farm. Go show your support of Cubs baseball from the beginning. Tickets are still available for games during this opening week here at Wrigley Field, especially for tomorrow night's series finale with the Reds, as well as Friday and Sunday's matchup with the Rockies. Please make plans to arrive early, as the new metal detectors may slightly delay your entrance to the ballpark. Get tickets and more information at Cubs.com. Well, Dexter Fowler reached twice in the first inning, scored once. Cubs continue to hit, take their walks. John Lackey, after a bit of a rocky start himself, bases loaded, nobody out. He gave up one, but was able to limit the damage. And he's got a 5-1 lead. He pitched in with an RBI single.
Yeah, very nice defensive play by Ben Zobrist to end that top half of the first. John into the dugout. The Cubs respond with that 5 spot. I feel safe in saying that right there is probably your major league leader in run support average.
Yeah, I'm not even going to look it up. I'm just going to go with it. It's Ivan De Jesus Jr. Fly ball right center. Fowler makes a catch.
Tonight's CSN bar of the game, presented by Coors Light, is Brownstone Tavern. To see the complete list of the CSN bars of the game, presented by Coors Light, visit csnchicago.com.
Switch hitting catcher Tucker Barnhart. Played 81 times last year with the Devin Mesoraco injury. And it's 1-0 on him. Midwestern native from Brownsburg, Indiana. 25 years old. 1-1.
Now that duck's down there in front of the Reds dugout.
But he is in foul territory.
Yes, he's got a bird's eye view of the game. Well, I guess he's got a human's eye. There he goes. That's a Rockies advanced scout.
And he's out of here. The 2-1 is wide.
Just Lackey probably chewing himself out there because, as I mentioned, he is a strike thrower. Now with his lead working towards with the bottom of the batting order, he's going to want to be even more aggressive. Tried to guide that one up there. So he's a little out of sorts.
So his second walk issued. And it will bring up the pitcher Straley. That is bunted foul. Sad news in the world of baseball broadcasting earlier this week. Long-time Tigers radio voice Paul Carey passed away at age 88. Paul was Ernie Harwell's partner 1973 to 91. And had everybody called the voice of God. He had the broadcaster's voice everybody wanted. 1-1.
Yes, he did.
Yep, you are correct. Call confirmed by Brian Onora down at first.
And Paul's a homeboy of yours, right?
Yeah, we were born in the same town, Mount Pleasant, Michigan. I worked for Paul's nephew, Mike Carey, when I was still in high school. Bunted to Rizzo. He's got to play at second, and they'll get one, but not two. So they'll get the lead man, and now the pitcher takes over at first. Paul Carey, it's C-A-R-E-Y, no relation to Harry.
Rizzo on that one quickly. Now, the whole key to that play is Addison making sure he's got the bag while he makes the catch here, because they're not going to allow middle infielders that leeway on the neighborhood play this year. You don't want to get careless out there and lose an easy out.
Although Harry's real surname is Carabina. But yeah, Paul Carey was just outstanding. Real straight ahead, kind of old school style with the middle 3 innings, and he was the radio engineer for I think 17 of the 19 years he worked with Ernie. So he lugged all the equipment up to the booth every day.
He'd get him on the air, and then he'd also contribute on the broadcast.
That's right. And he would throw it to Ernie and say, "Thank you, Mr. Carey." 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, those were my guys, the soundtrack of my childhood. Who were your guys? Stood out the most.
Ooh, that's a good one. A lot of Dave Van Horn. We got a lot of Expo games where I grew up.
You still see Dave when we play the Miami Marlins. Called strike 3. So Lackey with a shutdown second after his team gave him 5. Paul Carey, rest in peace.
And help benefit Cubs charities. Cubs Authentics is the premier outlet for all MLB authenticated Cubs memorabilia. Visit Cubs.com/authentics to bid on weekly auction items and to pre-order game-used bases and baseballs. The Cubs will donate net proceeds from the sale of Cubs Authentics to Cubs charities.
Our keen viewers are telling us that bird we were looking at was a she, not a he, based on its color. Zobrist bounces foul.
Did we call him a he?
I don't know. I might have.
I'm guessing one of us did. Probably said, "There it goes. There he goes."
Right. It's probably me.
You need to work on your bird identification.
I'm also told was it Mallard? It's a foul ball.
Probably staying over at the Drake.
One and two. This is the kind of night where the Reds might already be on the phone with their AAA affiliate in terms of needing some reinforcements by tomorrow night. You at least have that conversation if you're the front office.
Yeah, you got to be ready to react. A lot will depend on how much they get out of Straley here this evening. No food up there tonight.
Hamilton makes a catch. Comes Rizzo.
First at bat, he came up. They had the Starlin Castro theme music playing. Now he's rocking some Adele when he comes up to hit.
Anthony is very thoughtful about the music he picks. Another ball. Another die in center. It's Hamilton. Bring up Chris Bryant, who walked with the bases loaded in the first inning. I suppose the way that first inning went is a bit of an answer to the small ball question. If you're not going to hit home runs, how do you manufacture? And for this particular Cubs team, walking will be a part of that. And then you hope you get the sac flies. We saw that in the first. The pitcher is asked to bunt. Get that down as Straley will work a 1-2-3 second. It is 5-1 Cubs after 2.
We are back with this Coors Light game report and headed to the third inning. Cubs on top 5-1. John Lackey headed back out to the mound. Of course, labored a bit in the first inning. We saw some of those frustrations, that edginess that he is known for and can sometimes be perceived a bit by opposing fans and opposing team, if you will, as a negative thing. And I know at the beginning of spring training, guys, a bunch of these Cubs players said he was the guy they least liked to face. So they are very glad to have him on their team now. Miguel Montero, who I caught up with before the game, said, ask him kind of what he knows about this guy now after a couple months of working with him. And he said, I really hated this guy. Thought he was a punk on the mound, to be honest with you. But now that I've gotten to know him, I realize it's really just the competitor in him, and I've decided he's kind of an okay dude. I think he's going to be a great teammate to have, and I think overall that's what we're hearing from a lot of these guys about John Lackey, guys.
Thanks, Kelly. Yeah, you know, his comments to the media here recently, someone asked him about nerves his first start, and he said, "You're talking to the wrong guy. I don't get nervous." It was Patrick Mooney who had a story about Lackey. And, the idea of other teams not liking him, he doesn't.
He could be spitting nails right now, not liking
care.
himself.
Yeah,
he's I think he's when he gets out there between the lines, that adrenaline kicks in, and we used to see it a little bit with Chris Carpenter, the ace of the Cardinals, a few years back. That kind of.
There's a base hit. He's in some trouble for the second time here in the first 3 innings.
What I like to call irrational irascibility. You know, they get mad at odd times. Like, what is it? But it's just that fire that's burning inside, and that's how some guys. That's how they're at their best. The Cardinals players in that clubhouse, you know, loved him, and then you're hearing the same thing with this Cub group.
Phillips. Ground ball up the middle. Backhanded play. Zobrist to turn the 4-3 double play. It's been a tough start for Phillips, who struck out with the bases loaded in the first and hits into what could be a rally-killing double play here.
Phillips again attacking early, as he so often does. Ball gets in on him, cracks the bat. Pretty play by Zobrist. Backhand to the bag, and then the easy flip to Rizzo to complete the twin killing.
Something Lackey did a lot last year, inducing 29 double plays, tied for the major league lead in 2015. So runner at third with 2 outs. And ball 1 on Bruce. Hayward, plenty of room on a night like this. And the inning is over, so Lackey escapes 5-1.
Cubs lead 5-1. Introducing the Jumbo Collection from the Illinois Lottery. A new family of instant tickets where you can win up to $3 million instantly. Get ready to live large.
Happy birthday wishes go out to Bia Khan, celebrating her birthday today. watching the Cubs tonight, and her father-in-law Mahmoud has a birthday tomorrow. As we're underway here in the Cubs' third. Dan Straley did not start this game. Alfredo Simon did, and he could not get out of the first inning. 49 pitches to get 2 outs. He allowed 5 runs. The 2-0 on the way, and it's outside to Montero. Logan Watkins 4 for 4, knocked in 3. As the AAA Iowa Cubs beat New Orleans 9-5 in Des Moines. Montero draws the walk.
Gary Pressey's going to have a whole songbook of walk-themed songs to play in the organ this year. Walk the line, walk like an Egyptian. Boots are made for walking.
Yeah. Keep going.
Walk this way. Walk of life.
Walk on by. Walk don't run, right? Is that the big Ventures instrumental hit?
Yes.
Yep. 1-0 is in on Soler. Wilson Contreras off to a hot start in his AAA debut. 11 out of 23 in 6 games for Iowa after winning the Southern League batting title last year. Soler waves at strike 2. No rookies starting in this series for the Reds. That's a change from the end of last year. Club record 110 starts by 9 different rookie pitchers last season. That will drop in front of Hamilton. And the Cubs have it cooking again. 2 on, nobody out.
His hands might be buzzing a little bit for Soler, but he's a happy man. 1 for 1, an RBI sac fly, and end of the bat single that dumps in front of Hamilton out there.
The Reds finished last year with 64 consecutive games. Major League record started by rookie pitchers.
I traded Cueto and Leak the trade deadline. Turned it over to all those youngsters. Tucker Barnhart's getting his steps in on his Fitbit here tonight. Mark Riggins, the pitching coach, doesn't look particularly pleased. Ryan Price, a longtime pitching coach before he became a big league manager.
We were talking with Brian last year about being a former pitcher, and we've seen more former pitchers here the last few years become managers. John Farrell and Bud Black. And the 2-0 was off the corner. And I thought Price gave a great answer. He said, I've been asked that a lot. He said, you know what? I don't know hitting like the former position player might. But he said, pitchers are weird, and I know them better than ex-position players. So they say pitching and defense wins championships. Well, why is there a stigma against pitching guys becoming managers as the bases are loaded?
I think it goes way back. You know, a lot of times, I remember when I first started playing professional baseball, they referred to the the position players were the regulars. It was the regulars, and you thought of your own
almost
little,
like a punter.
Yeah, you were this little separate tribe over here, and maybe didn't understand the whole game as much as you needed to, but you had a great understanding of the most important part of the game, and that would be the argument for more ex-pitchers managing.
So Lackey, with the bases loaded, nobody out, already an RBI single as part of that 5-run first. And this year, Brian Price has the benefit of an ex-big league manager right next to him, and that's former Cubs skipper Jim Riggleman.
Right, so a lot of times it's not just about the guy, but it's about the staff.
Yep.
And that's self-awareness too. If as a manager you know you have an area of weakness, then you should hire people who can help you cover that. I think the biggest mistake you can make as a manager is to try to convince everybody that you've got it all figured out.
1-1, 2-1. Well, there are a lot of jobs a manager has. One is everything before the game, in terms of the motivation, the way you deal with your players. There's writing out the lineup card. And then one huge in-game thing is handling your bullpen. When we talk about the great managers of our time, usually those guys, we say, oh, great at handling his bullpen. Well, an ex-pitcher should have an idea of how to do that. As Lackey strikes out. The good news is he didn't hit into a double play.
Yeah, I was thinking the same exact thing. That's not the worst outcome there. Bases loaded with one out now as the lineup turns over to Fowler.
Well, Madden had Brian Price. Brian pitched in the Angels organization back in the mid-'80s. There's Fowler. Didn't look like Menard's pitch tracks liked it.
Has a very discerning eye. I remember seeing a story on him last year. He was like leading the league in called strikes out of the zone.
Drop on the Cubs bullpen untouched.
And a lot of that because he doesn't expand and chase those borderline pitches. But frustrating for a hitter who had such a good idea of the strike zone to have one that far off the plate called on him.
This is the Cubs' ninth, or both teams rather, total 9th plate appearance with the bases loaded.
Out.
Shot foul.
Dixon not going to get back into the batter's box till he has a sense that everything's okay down there, and apparently that's the case.
Swing and a miss for strike 3. So both outs in the inning have been punch outs.
Great off-speed pitch there from Straley. The swing of a man who has punched out twice already tonight, and the last time he did it with the bases loaded. Just a little overly anxious there.
Line and a base hit. One run is in. That's Montero. Here comes Soler. He's safe. Ball cut off by Votto. So Hayward, after a couple of tough at-bats, drives in 2, and it's 7-1.
Yeah, sweet redemption. That's one of the beautiful things about this game. He took that ugly hack at the off-speed pitch, and then I believe it's a heater here he gets. Well, maybe not. He stays through it, hits it sharply. Phillips can't make a play. And Cubs are averaging, what, just under 7 runs a game. Here they are at 7 already tonight as this offense continues to pour it on.
So Bryant, Montero, Soler, Russell, Lackey, and Hayward all have at least 1 RBI. To ask one of a typical wacky philosophical questions, but I'm going to.
Yes,
I think you might have brought this up in the last couple of years. That's Kiva Sampson. It'll never happen. I'm not saying it should, but just in our hypothetical world, what if you gave a manager 1 or 2 a year of these types of chips? Brian Price at some point could say, we forfeit, we're done, to save his bullpen. We get it. Would a manager use it, and would this be the kind of night where you might want to? Again, it would never happen.
Yeah,
just
right, in our little world. Absolutely, this is the kind of, you wouldn't use it yet. You still feel like you had a lot of baseball. And the version of that does exist in our game is the position player coming in to pitch an inning or 2.
Right.
I thought you were going to come with they had a chip that was like a mulligan. You get a do-over.
No do-overs. It's just okay, we get it. Let's just
a mercy rule.
Pack it up and come back tomorrow. But there are nights where you're a manager and you're just saying, I have to get through the 9 innings somehow, some way. It's not about winning. It's about tomorrow and next week.
Yeah, that's the thing. Even in a blowout game, the manager's job, it never ends. He's still thinking about, okay, I might as well get this guy in at bat or 2, give this guy a couple innings off to save his legs. So he's down there. His mind is churning about what are we going to do to try to get back into this thing? How am I going to use my bullpen? And I don't know if he has a position player. I mean, coming off the off day yesterday, he probably has enough innings out there to cover it. And it's more likely that they would go down and call somebody up if they had a shortage for tomorrow. I think the old school manager, the really thinking manager, is thinking, how can I get myself ejected from this game?
Don't really want to watch
so I can go downtown and get a big steak and a glass of wine. That's where my mind would be right now.
Popped him up in the infield. Suarez to end the inning. Jason Hayward knocks in 2. It's 7-1. Want to spin some discs a little later, JD?
Absolutely.
You got that opportunity if you want.
Is that in the clubhouse?
No.
7-1 as we head to the fourth. Cub fans, show your team pride with Cubs checking and an official Cubs MasterCard debit card only available at your local Wintrust Community Bank. Go to wintrust.com/Cubs to learn more. Member FDIC.
Onward, fourth inning. Cubs putting a chokehold on the Reds pitching staff tonight. The first pitch strike on Scott Schebler, playing left. Inside, 1-1.
Watching a game on I guess it was their opening series of the Phillies, right? This kid had punched out 3 times in a row and then got the game-winning hit in his last AB.
Hayward will dive, and he caught it. What a catch. I hope he's all right.
Second sparkling play by the Cubs here tonight. This one most impressive from the Gold Glover. Man, how much fun would it be to pitch for this club? Score all those points and make plays like this. It's our Xfinity high-speed action replay.
Did a great job to keep that right wrist from not buckling underneath.
Big and strong, and yet graceful, agile.
2 strikes on De Jesus.
I'd like to have him for a target, wouldn't you, if you were a quarterback? Catch everything in sight.
He got him. Called strike 3. Punch out for Lackey. Reaching his walk total so far. Barnhart right in there for strike 1. Orioles off to their best start since they moved to Baltimore in the 50s, 7-0, but they're trailing at Fenway 4-2 to the Red Sox in the 6th. The Braves have not won a game. They're 0-8 after a 3-0 loss in Washington. Nationals improved to 6-1.
Well, that's the second series between those two clubs already, too, isn't it? Didn't the Nationals start the year down in Atlanta?
Two delivery is hit foul. Twins 0-7 in a scoreless tie with the White Sox in the top of the 6th at Target Field. Ground to third. Chris Bryant will throw him out. Great diving catch by Hayward to start the inning, and they go 1, 2, 3.
Budweiser Patio offers fans an all-inclusive Budweiser bleacher experience in prime home run territory down the right field line. This outdoor semi-private space opens 2 hours prior to the game and is perfect for corporate outings, client events, and family gatherings. For more on all the available outdoor spaces located in the Budweiser bleachers, visit Cubs.com/premier.
Right-hander Kivas Sampson, 6'2", 225, making his 15th major league appearance. 12 starts and a relief appearance last year. This is second in relief in 2016.
25 years of age, Sampson, fastball, slider, and a curveball. Reds claimed him off the waiver wire from the Padres January prior to last season.
Anthony Rizzo takes up and in for ball one. Through 3 innings, every Cubs starter, including the pitcher, has reached base. Sampson, born in Gainesville, Florida. And the pitch. It's a strike. 1-2.
You know, that's the thing. All the walks by the Reds pitchers here tonight. You can't pin it on Jeff Kellogg, the home plate umpire. He's not had a particularly tight zone. Calling that low pitch. And some call that one on Fowler. That was well off the outside corner.
Rizzo held up. Call made by John Tumpane. Down at third. Two-two. Lifted foul into the upper deck. Get well wishes out to Cubs longtime season ticket holder Gail DePhillips. And Gail, we hope to see you back out here at the ballpark real soon. Got him that time. Looking. 1 out.
Thought the ball was down. Again, it's Kellogg's been pitcher friendly down there, and you see Barnhart, excuse me, cradle that one a little bit. Maybe helped influence Kellogg some.
Bryant with a bases loaded walk in the first and a run, fly to right in the second.
It's one of those called third strikes as a hitting coach you don't mind. You tell your guy, hey, we don't need you swinging at that pitch anyway. You're looking to work your way on, something you can drive. You're not going to do anything with that pitch. The message from John Maley to Riz would be, look, umpire maybe bit you a little bit, or maybe the guy made a perfect pitch.
Crushed to the left. If it's fair, it's gone, and it is gone. Chris Bryant with his first career April home run, and it's now 8-1.
Second RBI of the night, 4th of the year for Chris. Thing got out of here in about 2.5. There's a Ford home run replay. A running fastball, not a lot of sink though. Drops the head, pulls the hands in, and then goes for a casual trot around the bases.
Well, you can hit a ball out of the ballpark tonight. You just have to hit a rocket like the one you just saw. Night for Montero so far. Single walk, RBI, 2 runs. Another night game to wrap up the series tomorrow night. Jason Hamill will go for the Cubs. As Montero walks again. Raisel Iglesias, that's opening day starter. The game will be on CSN at 7 o'clock. Pre-game coverage at 6:30. Soler sac fly, single run. And another base hit. So he's 2 for 2. I hit that one. Addison Russell, single, RBI, walk. Six, 7, 8. Have not been charged with an out in terms of their batting average. He had the sac fly, Soler, but as you mentioned, a productive out.
These Cub hitters are putting on a clinic here in the early going. Pretty much every night.
Going in on Russell, and they did, and he backed out of the way, 1-1. Montero at second, Soler at first. Bryant with a 1-out home run. Cubs have scored in 3 of the first 4 innings.
Reds pitchers have thrown 115 pitches already here tonight. We're in the 4th inning. It wasn't uncommon for Greg Maddux to throw a complete game in less than 100.
Simon got 2 outs. Straley went 2 1/3 innings. And now it's Sampson.
The walk of Montero was the 6th free pass issued by the Reds tonight. Good take.
3-2.
You just see the confidence rising with Russell. You saw it bit by bit as we progressed through last season, and now he's just so much more comfortable. Talking with Joe Madden about him before the game, Joe said, "Yeah, last year I had a hard time getting the kid to talk to me, but he's opening up now."
But it bounces to Votto. Low throw. Nice play there. The shortstop, De Jesus. 2 down in the inning. first and third. And it's John Lackey. It's one weakness, Joey. That might be the only weakness in his overall game. Sometimes his throws aren't great.
Yeah, and I think he saw his window of opportunity closing there too, with Soler getting closer to the bag, and maybe hurried that throw a little bit.
That gets by. Montero will score. Russell to second. It's 9-1.
You know how we're always comparing Reds catchers to Johnny Bench, saying Johnny Bench would have blocked that one. Johnny Bench would have thrown. Johnny Bench would not have blocked that one. I don't believe.
So Miguel Montero has scored 3 times already. Cubs have scored 23 runs for John Lackey in his 2 starts.
Other starters are going to be negotiating with him to trade spots in the rotation.
Doesn't look like he wanted to swing at either the first 2 and either the first 3 rather, and none particularly close. Ball 4. So now even the pitchers are taking walks.
This notion that hitting is contagious is bunk. It's walking that's contagious.
Mark Riggins discussing strategy as Dexter Fowler will bat for the 4th time. We're only in the 4th inning.
Your hypothetical earlier about a manager having a couple of chips. This might be time to, where you play that chip and live to play another day.
You know, the fans paid their ticket price, so you could maybe have a home run derby or something. Yeah. I don't know. Here's Fowler, 2 on, 2 in. Outside, ball 1.
A good time to get a little greedy. He's got to channel one here, you would think. If he can find the zone. Cutter.
Swing and a miss.
Gary Jones will be going station to station here, I would think, in a 9-1 ball game.
Two and 2 now. 5 in the first, 2 in the third, 2 more here in the 4th. Reds got 1 in the first, but remember they had the bases loaded with nobody out. They had 2 on with nobody out in the 3rd and did not get a run. This pop-up will be caught by De Jesus to end the inning. Chris Bryant with his first home run of the season. A line shot just inside the pole in left. It's 9-1 Cubs. Reds 1. Well, Jake Arrieta before the game met with Arrieta's aces. Hosted a group of promising scholars from Moose Elementary, grades 6 through 8, who've achieved a high level academically while maintaining a sparkling attendance record. So they were out here doing Cubs batting practice. He signed autographs. And you see, took some selfies with them as well.
It's neat. Good to see kids doing well get rewarded.
And they also received some Arrieta's Aces shirts. Baseballs, Cubs cash for the game. Nicely done, Jake Arrieta. There's Bryant with a home run. Often play this game. If you told Brian Price before the game Dan Straley would bat in the second inning and Kivas Sampson would hit in the fifth, he'd have said you're crazy.
He said things would not be going well for my guys.
Sampson 0 for 16. Sampson 0 for 17 as a major league hitter.
Cub fans, don't miss your chance to catch the best matchups in baseball. Join the season ticket holder waiting list. It's easy. It's free to register. For details, visit Cubs.com/waiting list. Going to be interesting to watch the career of Billy Hamilton develop. All that speed. Can he get on base enough to remain an everyday player?
Will not reach this time. 1 for 3 as he flies to Fowler.
Because there's a certain amount of value in having him as a bench player, especially on a good team. Maybe it doesn't provide enough on base and enough power to be an everyday player, but that speed obviously can be a difference maker. And you put him on a team in a pennant race or in the postseason, that weapon to come off the bench and pinch run for you. There's a lot of value there. That's one way to guarantee he gets on base, is use him as a pinch runner.
Right. after somebody else reaches. Well, he homered the other day, and we've talked about him before. It might not be a great thing that he hits the ball out of the ballpark occasionally, because with his skill set, I like to see him hit the ball on the ground.
Yeah, and sometimes guys who don't hit a lot of home runs, when they hit one or two, they start thinking in those terms and can get out of their game. He bunts for hits. He'd be a guy you'd want to maybe choke up on the bat and slash, just chop it on the ground and run.
Oh, 2 to Suarez, and he got him. Second straight 1-2-3 for John Lackey, who's got a big lead tonight.
Insider all season long on Comcast Sports Net. Brought to you by Nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich. Visit Jeff at jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side.
All Cubs here tonight. Make it 7 of 8. Start the season.
See that? Her glove was perfectly positioned to catch that rogue tomato that fell off her dog. That's a savvy veteran move right there.
Outside for a ball to Jason Hayward. Two and 0. Deep breath by Sampson, and the pitch. Ball 4. Lead-off walk, and now Ben Zobrist.
How many guys in the league have their wife singing their walk-up music?
Right.
I know one. He's in the batter's box right now. Ben's wife is a Christian recording artist, so Juliana, I believe her name is.
That is right. Yep. And a strike. It's 0-2. I think they live in Nashville in the off season. Pitch. 1-2.
And originally signed with the Astros in their minor league system before being traded along to Tampa. Back when I was working in Houston, I remember hearing his name, and when he was traded, there was a lot of folks around the organization that were kind of gnashing their teeth. He's a good player.
It's by and allows Hayward to advance to second.
And it's funny, I remember when they were talking about Ben, they were talking about his skill set and about how he could play all these different positions. And so in my mind, I'm picturing this kind of little guy, a little scrappy, utility type player. He can play all over, but he's not a little scrappy guy. He's a big, strong guy.
Checks up a little bit on the bat and asks for time. And the Zobrists live in Franklin, Tennessee, just south of Nashville.
Is that anywhere near Murfreesboro?
I don't know.
Oh man, you go to Murfreesboro, you can get some good chicken livers.
It's in the same state. Here's the 2-2.
Staying alive.
Got him. Zobrist almost made the call for Jeff Kellogg. One of the Cubs are home or on the road. Guided tours of legendary Wrigley Field are available. Tours may include visits to the press box, clubhouses, dugouts, as well as a chance to actually step on the field. This must-see Chicago attraction houses 100 years of history. Game days and non-game day schedules, or to book your tour, visit Cubs.com/tours today. Here's Rizzo, runner at second, one out. Pops it up. Phillips was out in the outfield grass with the shift on. He actually had to come in a couple of steps over near the line. Number 2. We'll bring up Bryant, who's knocked in a couple. One with a bases loaded walk. The other time he drove himself in with a home run.
And in basketball, they talk about a shooter who's not making shots, or even a team, and then they need to see one go through the basket, right? Like the psychological part of it. I think the same thing applies to sluggers too. Home runs tend to come in bunches.
Find your stroke.
Yeah.
Steph Curry lost a game of pig to Joe Smith.
Yeah, some of the Angel players were visiting practice
They were playing the A's this week. Did he let him win?
I think Mike Trout beat Draymond Green first. Is that his name? Draymond Green? Is that right? Local NBA expert in the truck.
As Bryant flies to Hamilton to end the inning. 9-1 Cubs.
Back with another Coors Light in-game report. We head to the 6th. Cubs on top 9-1. Of course, 5 of those runs coming in the first inning, and that's something Anthony Rizzo told me would be a big thing for this team this year. Early run support not only helps the pitcher settle in, find his groove, which it appears John Lackey has certainly done, but he said the biggest difference between this team this year and last year is the trust they have in one another up and down the lineup, the mentality of just passing it along. He says, if I don't get the hit, I know Chris Bryant can come up behind me and get it, or Soler behind him. Any guy can be the hero on any night. And guys, I found this to be interesting before the game. Miguel Montero coining this year's hashtag, anybody, anytime. Thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, last year it was "We Are Good."
So he's the official sloganeer.
He's the official hashtag man. That swing by Votto.
Yeah, I like that. What is it? Any man, anytime. Speaks to the depth of the lineup. Talking about the line, the pitching has been outstanding as well. They lead the league in ERA.
Lead the majors in WHIP. Fewest walks allowed by the pitching staff. Most walks taken by the offense. Maybe the Who could be they could have the theme song. Anyway, anyhow, anywhere. Strike 3 called on Votto. Number 6 for Lackey.
Sends that two-seamer, runs right back over the inside part of the plate. No dispute from Votto. And they've only committed 2 errors so far this year.
Phillips turns on one. Soler will backhand it. Phillips has got a stick with a single as that ball got by, but once he threw it, Phillips was not going to take any chances.
Well, How do you get to Wrigley Field? The Cubs suggest taking public transportation. That's always a good idea. The Cubs do offer a free bike check that's now located by the Addison Red Line station. And if you drive, the Cubs provide free remote parking and shuttle service on night and weekend games. For information, visit the A to Z guide at Cubs.com.
Ball one on Jay Bruce. Knocked in his 10th run of the year with a first inning sacrifice fly. Looks like it'll be a nice weekend. The Rockies come in.
Yeah.
We'll warm up a little bit.
Maybe
now it'll be cooler by the lake.
70-ish.
Yeah, they're saying like maybe low 60s here, but pleasant, seasonably appropriate.
Yeah, I was just looking at some out-of-town box scores. The White Sox are up in Minnesota. It's 68 degrees at Target Field tonight.
Well, that's, I guess, what we'll get in a couple of days. And foul behind the tarp. See more action in the Reds bullpen. Blake Wood is heating up. Two. Now full. Mariners off to a slow start, but they beat the Rangers today 4-2 to improve to 3-6. A first win at Safeco in their 6th try. Dae-Ho Lee with a game-ending 2-run homer in the bottom of the 10th.
Is that number 1 for him?
I believe it was.
First major league home run, a walk-off, huh? That's pretty cool.
His second. That'll go 4-6-3, and the inning is over. Midway in the 6th, Cubs 9, Reds 1 from Wrigley.
Wrigley Field. The new Veen Investment Suites can accommodate anywhere from 15 to 55, include food, all you can drink beverages, and parking. To book your premier experience at the ballpark, visit Cubs.com/premier.
Right-hander Blake Wood, 6'5", 240, former Royal, Cleveland Indian.
Throws hard. Mid-90s plus with the fastball. AAA ball last year. With 29 saves to lead the International League.
Big night. Miguel Montero on 3 times, has scored 3 times. What a product of Georgia Tech from Atlanta.
Missed all of 2012 and a good chunk of 2013 after Tommy John surgery. Aldis Chapman is no longer a Red. He's with the Yankees now. J.J. Hoover is their closer.
Couldn't get to him Monday night. Going in. Hey, it's 3-2.
Yeah, we're going to have to start doing some digging here if this trend continues. Most pitches thrown by a team in a 9-inning game.
And it's going to be probably 8
yeah,
for the Reds.
Yeah. So I guess that would be the more appropriate question.
High bouncer charged by Suarez, and Montero out for the first time. You see a former Cub, Felix Dubron, who was supposed to be a part of the A's starting rotation, ended up having elbow reconstruction, Tommy John surgery yesterday.
I did not see that.
He will be done for the season.
He battled elbow problems before, correct? Or maybe it was a forearm thing. Two hits and a sac fly for Soler so far tonight.
96 off the plate in, and it's 1-1. Pablo Sandoval goes to the DL. Left shoulder strain. Soler did not swing. 3-1. Twins put their closer Glenn Perkins on the DL. He's got a shoulder strain. So their bad start made worse. Ball 4. So the Cubs have now walked in every inning but the second. Towards second. Phillips behind the bag, and he'll flip to his double play partner. They'll only get one. No shot to get Russell. To miss the strike zone 73 times already, not even through 6.
Yeah, that's a lot of missing.
And John Lackey,
just about every hitter,
gets his 4th plate appearance.
If they were bowling, they would ask to have those bumpers put up. Keep it in the lane. Some nights you just can't find it.
Trevor Story has not homered tonight. The Rockies lead the Giants 6-5. That is a foul ball. Barnhart tried to jump on it because Lackey didn't run before it left the chalk, but he could not get there.
With a bit of a wry smile there as he heads back to his position. He had no idea that Lackey wasn't running, and he was busting out of there with a sense of urgency. Trying to get it fair, and yeah.
It might have hit Lackey. In fact, I'm sure of it,
which explains why John wasn't running.
Yeah, and that's why Barnhart, when he jumped on it, the ball was actually fair, but it had already been called foul. Jeff Samardzija got his first win as a Giant last night in Denver. 8 innings, 2 runs allowed. We'll see the Rockies on Friday. Called strike 3 to end the inning. Cubs don't score, but they hope to not need it, leading 9-1. MLB.com at bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with Game Day. Live game video highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and tablet. Here's cornerback Kyle Fuller will conduct the 7th inning stretch tonight. Cubs 9, Reds 1. Yeah, what a touching moment when Kyle Schwarber was introduced. Came out of the dugout. Great applause on Monday night. The other thing about the new clubhouse, JD, is that guys like Kyle Schwarber, they'll be able to spend a lot more time with their teammates with the facilities here as opposed to having to spend most of the summer in Arizona.
Yeah, you're right. You can get a lot of rehab work done here. Tim Buss had him working in the weight room today. He was helping Anthony Rizzo work out. Guess he put Schwarbs to work, feeding medicine balls to Rizzo.
There's Scott Schebler, and he takes a strike. Good note from Matt Lindsay on Twitter. He said the Cubs need 2 hits, a run, and a walk for a triple-double. Hits, runs, and walks. Trevor Cahill up. That one hit pretty well. Deep right center. And right at the base of the wall, Schebler trying for 3, and he's got a triple.
He hit the ball hard last time. It was a sinking line drive. Jason Hayward made a spectacular play on him, taking away at least a single, perhaps a double. This time just shy of flying one out of here. He had a couple seasons in the minor leagues where he put up big home run numbers.
First career triple in his 26th major league game. And on many nights, that's a home run.
I think Dexter thought it was going to fly out of here the way he played it.
That will get the run home as De Jesus grounds out. Schebler scores 9-2. So you gladly take the exchange if you're John Lackey. And now he goes to work with the bases empty, and Barnhart grounds one into center. We'll bring up Tyler Holt, a pinch hitter. 36,496 on a chilly April night. And they were into it early as the Cubs put up 5 in the first inning. Ball 1 on Holt. Spent his entire major league career, only 3 seasons, and including tonight 55 games, but in Ohio with the Indians and now the Reds. A chance for Hayward. 1-2.
A .274 lifetime hitter as a minor leaguer. Just limited time at the big league level. Played 11 games for the Reds last year, or excuse me, 11 at bats. 20 ABs with Cleveland, 71 at bats with the Indians the year before. A speed guy. But not a power hitter. 2,291 minor league at bats coming into this year. Total of 6 home runs.
Swing and a miss. He's out. And that could be it for Lackey. You've got Wood and Cahill up, and Joe wants the righty. So Lackey serenaded with clapping and cheering, unlike the last time he was here at Wrigley as a St. Louis Cardinal, leaving ahead 9-2. Scoreless his 7th Monday night. This will be his 4th appearance.
Yeah, and I don't think Joe's pulling John Lackey here has anything to do with Lackey's effectiveness or fatigue or anything like that. I think he wants to get Cahill in there and get him a little work. Keep everybody sharp. Travis Wood continues to throw.
Lackey has given up an extra base hit on the first pitch of each of his first 2 starts, and in position to be victorious in both.
Yeah, he avoided the big crooked number early here tonight. He wasn't on his game at the start. But unlike his last start where he got touched up for 3 in the first, he limited the damage here tonight, and then the hitters took over.
Fouled away. 1-2 on Hamilton. Barnhart, the runner at first. That's caught by Rizzo. So Hamilton lines out. Time for the 7th inning stretch, brought to you by Mazda.
Tonight's guest conductor for Take Me Out to the Ball Game, Bears cornerback Kyle Fuller.
All right, Cubs and Bears fans, let me hear you. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. I don't care if I never get back. They don't win, it's a shame. 4 and 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out of the old. Let's get some run.
Ollendorf will take over. Yeah, thank you, Kobe. Kobe Bryant's final NBA game.
Is Kobe here tonight?
No, he's playing tonight for the Lakers. Well, her first Cubs game, and she's just going to assume the Cubs will score 9 every night. And they might.
Still trying to get to the bottom of the kid with the Kobe sign. How's Kobe going to see that?
Maybe they'll
watching our game?
put it on the highlight shows. Ollendorf for the old school windup.
Big burly right-hander out of Princeton University. Scarfed up a couple W's already.
Bulls finishing a disappointing year, 42 and 40. Swing and a miss. A shout out to Neil and Stacy, Chuck and Bill, radio guys. See John Walsh, Tanner Anderson coming up as well as they finish up their NBA season as Dexter Fowler strikes out. To start the 7th, that's Clayton Richard. And the Cubs bullpen. Richard had strep throat last week. Feeling a lot better. Hayward the other day about the jaw guard which he has been wearing since he returned from the broken jaw in 2013. And the catch made by Schebler. And I would imagine he's going to wear it for the rest of his career. It's just kind of part of the helmet now for him. I said, are you surprised other guys who've never been hit haven't thought about it? He said, no, because I wouldn't have thought about it until I got hit. Javi Baez had some dental work last year, and he's been wearing it since. But yeah, I would imagine once you get used to that extra piece on the helmet, you certainly feel safer. And Zobrist will be out as Hamilton makes the running catch. 9-1 and 9-2 rather, Cubs after 7.
The Cubs are back at the friendly confines for their series finale against the Cincinnati Reds. Pitch every pitch starting tomorrow at 7 on CSN Chicago. And Zobrist is going to be here too.
Matt Caesar now playing left. And that is one of 2 changes. Left-hander Clayton Richard makes his season debut.
Lefty will deal with 2-3-4 here for the Reds in the 8th. You see his numbers from last season.
Suarez, it's a bounding ball foul.
We've seen Richards reach mid-90s. Reach mid-90s with the fastball, but he's one of those guys that at his best when he's working more 90 to 92 with sink.
Oh, come on, come on, come on.
Worked 6 times in the postseason, all out of the pen. Pitched scoreless baseball. Made 3 starts during the regular year for the Cubs last season.
Sharply hit ground ball the other way. Forward will scoop. Suarez has a leadoff single. His second hit and his 3rd reach tonight. Off to a really good start.
He's swinging a little bit. Did a nice job with the bat last year. Had 4 home runs coming into play tonight.
He came over for Alfredo Simon. Deal with Detroit. You were traded once, twice?
Twice. Traded from the Yankees to the Astros.
So, and then
I was traded from the Twins to the Giants in '93.
Did you remember all the guys you were traded for? Did you keep tabs on them?
Traded for Joe Negro from the Yankees.
So he was easy to.
Yeah, I remember Joe.
Keep tabs on.
So the Yankees were that was in '85, and the Yankees were in a pennant race, and just kind of a minor league call up Scribini, and they needed a veteran, and they got Joe Negro, and then
Nieder Horta.
Nieder Horta, I think he was from Colombia, and he was in that deal.
See if they can turn 2 here. Russell Zobrist Rizzo, 6-4 to 3. Dodi Rather is another guy involved in that deal. Some good names. 2 down.
And the trade from Minnesota to the Giants, I believe Greg Brummett and Aaron Fultz.
Yep.
And Fultz had a pretty long career.
Andres Duncan, the minor leaguer, also involved. Should I not ask Larry Anderson that same question? By the way,
that deal.
CLA and Philly. Here's Brandon Phillips.
Larry Anderson was one of the best players in Astros history. He pitched for 5 years there effectively, and then they traded him for Jeff Bagwell. And that's a pretty good asset.
I guess it depends on the guy, right? But if you're involved in a lopsided trade.
Yeah, it's unfair is what it is, because people say it's the worst trade they ever made, the Red Sox.
Yeah, but look at who they traded me for.
Yeah.
Nice job, Clayton Richard. 9-2 Cubs. Downtown Chicago. On the north side, we'll be here through Sunday before the Cubs head to St. Louis and Cincinnati. And left-hander Tony Cingrani makes his second appearance in as many games in this series. Gave up the big hit to Jason Hayward.
Cingrani, he's from this area. 4 times this year. One with a 7.70 ERA. Pitched collegiately down at Rice University in Houston.
There's Anthony Rizzo to start the Cubs 8th. Yeah, I was thinking about what lopsided trades. And I think of Cubs history, the Rolio for Brock trade back in the 60s. Rob Nyer once pointed out, Ernie Broglio was a really good pitcher for the Cardinals. He wasn't with the Cubs, but a lot of times you look back at a trade and say that it was lopsided, but at the time it was made, Brock did not get off to a very good start that year. So, if you polled all the general managers in the National League that year, they might have said, I like that trade for the Cubs. But
yeah,
30 years later, Brock's a Hall of Famer, and you go, oh, that's a terrible deal. But that's the risk you take every time you make a trade. I don't think Theo Epstein and Jed Hoyer would tell you, oh, yeah, Jake Arrieta is going to be a Cy Young winner in 3 years after they acquired him. They liked his potential. They didn't know. Ground Phillips. Time now for a hefty home run, and there was some heft on this one.
Running fastball moving in under the hands of Chris Bryant, but he just didn't let it get in there. No, sir, you're not coming in. Not allowed in my kitchen.
Well, we talked to Ryan Sandberg the other night. Cubs got Rhino and Larry Boa in the Ron DeJesus Sr. trade back in the early 80s. I think the other part of it, and I think it's totally legitimate to ask it in Jake Arrieta's case, is if you don't make the trade, you can't just assume that the guy puts up the same numbers. That's the other part of it.
Right. There's no guarantee he would have ultimately been that guy in Baltimore. Having seen what we've seen out of him, my guess is he would have figured it out eventually, regardless of where he was. But I think he really benefited from the change of scenery. And it's possible we see the same thing play out with Starlin Castro. I think that the change of scenery may do him well.
Two on Bryant. Bounce that one off his foot, and it stings, especially on a cold night like this. The Orioles are undefeated no more. 4-2 loss at Fenway, so they dropped to 7-1. We mentioned the Braves still without a win, 0-8. Twins are down. And last at bat, 3-0 to the White Sox. They're trying to avoid an 8 start.
Brewers lead the Cardinals 6-4, heading to the bottom of the 9th.
Jared Saltalamacchia a grand slam, and the Tigers beat the Pirates in Pittsburgh 7-3. Count is full. Blue Jays over the Yanks 7-2 in Toronto. Indians beat the Rays 4-1. Mets edge the Marlins 2-1 in New York. Bryant takes ball 4.
Talk about discipline, not giving away in at bat. This 9-2 ball game. Second time he has walked tonight to go along with his first home run of the year.
We mentioned, JD, when we were in Arizona, just the Diamondbacks getting off to that slow start. Kind of the pressure felt like they were under. The high expectations.
Yeah.
You can say the same about the Mets, and they won today. Terry Collins quoted after the game, quote, "This is a game we had to have. We couldn't sacrifice another game." So they're 3-5. Their 8th game of the season.
A must win.
Kevin Plawecki with a 2-run single in the 7th was the game winner. Jeuris Familia got the final 5 outs, pitching on his 3rd consecutive day. It's a strike, 1-1.
I think there are only must wins when you win. You know what I mean?
If you lose, you have nowhere else to go.
Well, looking back on the game, when you're talking about the game after the fact, oh yeah, we had to win this game. But if you lost, you wouldn't say that. No, there's no such thing as a must win. It's April, my goodness.
We like the narrative. Like the word chemistry, you never hear a 97 loss team say we have great chemistry. Two balls, 2 strikes, the pitch. Struck him out.
Yeah, you'll even see it with a club from one year to the next. When you have a successful year one season, and the same cast of characters come back the next year, or mostly same group, and have an off year, and they'll talk about lack of leadership and lack of chemistry. Well, wait a minute, it's the same guys. You have, all of a sudden they develop these character flaws in the offseason.
Caesar gets a chance. Just came in to play left. Javier Baez may not be far from making a return. He's been rehabbing AAA Iowa. And in spring training is Cubs' new super utility man. But on the DL with the left thumb injury. You know, he cannot wait to get back. Popped up off of third, and Suarez on that warning track makes a catch, and the inning is over. We go to the ninth. Cubs 9, Reds 2. Game presented by Binny's Beverage Depot, and it goes to John Lackey. Got in and out of some early trouble. Yeah, got a ton of run support.
Yeah, but he, efficient again here tonight. Talked to scouts about Lackey, and they say, you know what, this guy just really knows how to pitch. Every pitch has a purpose. Settled in nicely. 6 2/3, 6 hits, 2 runs, walked 3, struck out 7.
Binny's Beverage Depot is the official champagne provider of the Chicago Cubs. And here's Neil Ramirez, who looked strong on Sunday in Arizona.
Yeah, clean inning with a couple of punch outs.
Popped up by Jay Bruce, shallow left. It's Russell. It's definitely premature to talk about a roster move if and when Javi Baez is ready, but the Cubs are going with an extra bullpen arm at the moment. Bullpen that has been terrific here early on. Schebler with his first career triple his last time up. Ball 1.
I guess they would send out Munenori Kawasaki.
He came up when Schwarber got hurt. Outside, it's 2-0.
Yeah, ball looked to be jumping out of Neil's hand pretty good the other day in Arizona. Good life on the heater.
This one's popped up on the infield. Who wants it? Chris Bryant on the grass. 2 down. Iglesias and Hamill tomorrow night. Here's a pitch. Another pop up. Rizzo over near the barrier, and he reaches in, but the plexiglass got in the way. It might have stung. There's a lot of stuff down there to work around. The 0-1 bounced in front of the plate. Reminded me when Mark DeRosa came back to Wrigley with the Cleveland Indians down in that area. He ran into the bullpen phone. Probably had a bruise for about 10 months. On the ground toward third and foul. Mike Lowell, when he was playing for the Florida Marlins, slid into home plate over a bat. The bruise was like 4 feet long in his quad. Bumps and bruises of a major league season. A 1-2. Now 2-2.
Anthony went awkwardly into the tarp the other day on Monday.
The pitch to De Jesus. On a play.
Jason Hamill was sharp his first start. He'll go tomorrow against the youngster Iglesias. He's a good one. De Jesus delaying the inevitable here. Nobody wants to be the guy to make that last out. But somebody's got to do it.
Slider missed, 3-2. Barnhart would bat next. Barnhart's been on twice in 3 plate appearances. Now back as De Jesus took off for second, not being held by Rizzo. In the air, Dexter Fowler in left center. Cubs win. Cubs win 9-2 the final. A huge first inning. 5 runs, 11 batters. They chased the starter Simon out of there early and cruised to an easy victory.
Yeah, on a night where we figured runs would be hard to come by, the Reds pitchers just couldn't find the strike zone, and the Cubs with that patient approach took full advantage. So Again, another outstanding night for this team in all facets of the game. Put 9 runs on the board. John Lackey in the bullpen, solid. A couple really sharp defensive plays, one by Zobrist, one by Hayward, a couple double plays. How 7-1 sound to you, Cub fan? Pretty good, huh?
Best start since 1985.
It's got some people singing.
Down to the field and Kelly Crow.
All right, guys, thanks a lot. Well, Chris, your first Major League April home run, if you will. How did it feel coming off the bat there?
It felt great. I mean, it's always tough when it's cold out and the wind's blowing in, but we made the most of it today. We took our walks. We took advantage of them in the first, and it was a really good game for us.
You talk about that 10 walks, every guy in the starting lineup tonight, either a walk or a hit. Give me your sense of how frustrating it becomes to navigate this lineup for an opposing pitcher.
Yeah, I mean, it's really tough. I think there's someone new every night. You know, a lot of us are seeing the ball really good right now. And, you know, we're all feeding off each other. I think we're all pushing each other, and when we see someone doing well, we want to do well with them. So, yeah, I think just seeing the ball really good right now, and hopefully we can continue into tomorrow.
One last thing, Chris, 7-1, it's only happened, this is the 4th time in 81 years. I know getting off to a good start was an emphasis for this team. How good does it feel when you see how many people are out here rooting you guys on this early?
Yeah, I mean, it feels really good. That was Joe's thing, is to get off to a good start. You don't want to be climbing uphill. Obviously, we're at the top right now, but good start. That's all we can really say about it. We got to continue to build off of it, and you know, we're looking forward to tomorrow, and hopefully it's a little warmer.
Awesome, Chris. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Chris, 1 for 3 tonight, guys, and it was a big one.
Okay, Kelly, thank you, and join us tomorrow night on CSN for the final game of this 3-game series as the Cubs go for the sweep. We'll hit the air, our pregame coverage at 6:30 Central. Now for JD and our entire crew here at Wrigley Field, Len Casper with your final. Cubs 9, Reds 2. Stay tuned. Blue Cross, Blue Shield Cubs postgame live. Cap and Ollie right here at Wrigley Field coming up.